Hi neighbors, I'm Christine Massa. I've been your neighbor in Harveston for more than the last 16 years, and I've also been on our Harveston Community Association board for the last 9 years. I've really had a pleasure serving you, and I would like to be able to serve you again for the next 3 years, and I'm asking for your vote. These are some of the things that you told me are important to you, and it's important to me to be able to keep my commitment to see these through. First is keeping your master assessments affordable and at a level that I can justify having to pay out of my own pocket. Now, it gets harder and harder because utility costs are rising, maintenance costs are rising, and we have expenses that we never thought we'd have before, like increased janitorial supplies for hand sanitizer and having more janitorial services and more pool monitors too. Things like we can never anticipate due to COVID-19. But we also know that due to COVID-19, some of our homeowners are really struggling to keep their jobs or keep their small businesses afloat. So it takes a lot of creativity and compassion to keep that budget in balance. Along those lines, it's very important to me to make sure that you understand not only how your money is spent, but why it's spent the way it is. I advocate for transparency in everything that the board does and try to address the concerns that you have as a homeowner, eliminating as much legalese as I can and using plain language to explain things to you. Now, you may also notice looking around that our community is maturing, and it's important that we keep our design aesthetic current. Part of that is making sure your home is current and making it easy for you to make your home be current, as well as less expensive. One of the items that I contributed to during my tenure is a structured fee schedule for making certain design enhancements to your home. So depending on the size of the enhancement or the scope of the enhancement, you may be able to do it for a reduced or even no fee. For example, one of the things that we're working on is revamping our pre-approved paint color schemes for the exterior of your home. If you choose to paint your home one of those color schemes, you can just submit for that with no cost because those colors are already pre-approved. You may have also noticed that we revamped some of the rooms at the lake house. So the terrace room, the classrooms all have new floors, new paint, they're getting new countertops. So we're keeping the lake house current for you as well. I'm also the resident technologist on the board. You may not know, but we have Wi-Fi at the lake house. That was something that I introduced several years ago. I'm also working on getting a mobile device-based entry system into the lake house so you can get in just using your phone rather than a key fob. That's something that we're in the process of testing. I'm also working with our management company so that once we get back in the conference rooms for having live meetings, that you may still have a video conference option if you can't join in the room and would like to join via Zoom or another similar option. And of course, Harveston is really about community. It's not just a place. Harveston is really its people. And it's important to me that all of our people feel welcome at home and where they belong. It may be something as simple as having holiday lights at the entrances, which is a concept that I introduced. But I'm also working with additional candidate Anthony Alejandre on a diversity, inclusion, and equity committee charter for our Harveston Community Council so that we can have a little bit more diversity in some of our events and programming as well. Now, that's not a board responsibility, that's the HCC, but it's something that I'd like to have input into. Now, I'm also active in volunteering, not just on the board, but with the city as well. I'm a frequent attendee of our city council meetings, and I talk to our city council member frequently. I've interacted with the Traffic Commission and Public Works on things like getting the stop sign and the crosswalk at the back gate of Isabel Barnett. And I've worked with our Community Services Division on responsible fishing at the lake. And I'm currently working with Community Services on seeing if we can get some lighted basketball courts on this side of town. They're currently only on the south side of town. And that's something I'd like to fix. Now, of course, there's always more to do in Harveston. And again, I'd like to ask for your vote so that I can keep helping Harveston moving forward and continuing to serve you. I've attached a few slides here with a little bit more of my background, some of my accomplishments, and some more of my commitments to you. Hope that you would take some time to read that. And again, I will try to be as available to you as I always have been. Phone, email. I had a resident show up at my front porch the other day to talk about a community issue. You see me jogging around the neighborhood with my mask on or my pink bandana. I will always try to be available to you and interact with you and ask you for how you feel and really listen. Thank you for your time, and thank you in advance for your vote.